All right, if you're still with me and that did not appear backward, which might be the case, let me just see. Oh, there's a blank piece of paper. I probably should have checked that out first. That said, attention, today's show is optional. And if you're still with me, I'd like to welcome you all to Lunch Break Live, real talk about obesity, food addiction, recovery, and what's really eating you. I am the apparently very backward Carrie De La Cruz, and today's show is called, What Are My Options? All right, I do not have a bunch of notes about today, but I have a bunch of thoughts. And I'm just going to warn you right now. If you guys are feeling sensitive and do not feel good about hearing the truth today, delivered in a very firm and unvarnished way, your option is to probably change the channel now. If, however, you are interested in hearing the truth and are courageous enough to accept that what I'm saying might apply to you, I would encourage you guys to stick around. I am under a full head of steam. I'm just going to put it out there right now. I'm frustrated. I get frustrated sometimes because of the things that I hear. And they're honest things. It's not as if the people from whom I hear them are bad and wrong in any way, shape, or form. It's just that I feel like they are so immune to their own lies that they're peddling them without any concern in the world that what they're saying is untrue. It's just wildly accepted, and they're incredulous if I don't agree with them. So that is where I'm coming from today. And let me just demystify this for you. We always have options. Always, always, always have options. Sometimes the options are less desirable, are scary, are unknown to us. Sometimes we feel ill-equipped to choose the option, and other times we just don't want to. The options I'm talking about today are the options we don't think we have. And by removing the option from the table, we ironically always have the option to choose it. What the heck am I talking about? Let me lay the foundation a little bit by asking you these questions. I would like you to go on a little journey with me for a minute, all right? I want you to consider that you are in Antarctica. Very, very cold, a lot of snow. And you're sitting there all bundled up in your igloo, and you say, I want to be sitting under a palm tree sipping coconut milk from a coconut. All right? Is that an option or not? You can want it, but is it an option if you're in Antarctica to be sitting under a palm tree drinking coconut milk from a coconut just because you want it? Alternatively, let's say you are on the equator. It is burning hot. You want to peel your skin off. It's probably 120 degrees, and you're saying, I want to go skiing. I really want to go skiing right now. I want it to snow right now because that's what I want. I haven't been skiing in a really, really long time. Is that an option for you? Can you have it snow on the equator? Can you have it be 120 degrees above zero on, in the Antarctic, in the South Pole? Those just aren't options, right? I mean, you'd be sitting there going, no, of course not. That's not an option. I mean, that would be even stupid to consider it. I mean, I could want it, but it's not like I'm going to get it, right? Okay, fair enough. All right. I want to go to Europe. I do. I've never been to Europe. I think I deserve to go to Europe. I've worked very, very hard, for a vacation. I think everyone should and ought to go to Europe at some point in time in their lives. I have a passport. The only problem is I don't have the money. Okay? But I want to go to Europe. So is it an option for me to go to Europe? Well, sure, if I could raise the money. No. I want to go right now. I want to go to Europe right now, but I don't have the money. But I want to go to Europe. So is it an option for me to go right now if I do not have the money? And I can't borrow it from somebody, and I'm not winning the lotto, okay? I don't have the money and I can't get the money right now, but I want to go to Europe. Is it an option? All right, I want to drive a Mercedes. I mean, I'm tired of my car breaking down. And I think, given the number of years I've worked, I'm really entitled to driving a Mercedes. And I'm pretty sure I could go into the dealership and qualify for the credit. Okay, so I could technically drive off the lot in the Mercedes. I could get financing. The only problem is I'm not going to be able to make the monthly payment. However, I could make it happen right now. So it's an option, but is it a reasonable option? Is it realistic given the fact that I'm not going to be able to pay it? And by the way, I'm going to have to return it, still have to pay it off, and it's going to wreck my credit forever. So how reasonable, practical, or possible is the option for me to drive a Mercedes if I don't have the money to pay for it? All right. Have you guys been following me now about options? All right. Next one. I love Doritos. I love them. Okay, once I start them, I can't stop. But I want them and I love them and I should be able to eat them. And when I buy them, I have to eat them. So is it an option for me to buy the Doritos if I know that when I buy them, I eat them? Well, sure, I guess it's an option, right? Last scenario. I am allergic to peanuts. Wildly allergic to peanuts. So allergic, as a matter of fact, I will die. I will die just being in the same room with peanuts. I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Oh, I just want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because I love peanut butter and jelly. Okay, so really, I should be able to have the peanut butter and jelly, right? Because I want it. Okay, I know I'm allergic to it, and I know peanut butter could kill me, but I want it. It sounds good. And okay, here's the problem. Somebody handed me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I should be able to eat it because they handed it to me. I didn't ask for it. I didn't go out and say, give me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because I'm allergic to peanuts, right? So, but technically I should be able to eat it, right? Even if I might die. Even if it's bad for me, I should and ought to be able to eat it because I want it. So is that an option for me to, I don't know what the problem is. Do you? Here's the thing, that these wild examples might be very easy for us to look at and say, well, no, that's not an option, or that's not reasonable anyway, or no reasonable person would do that, or no, of course not. And if somebody walked up to me and told me that and tried to peddle that bill of goods to me, I would say, what are you smoking? Are you crazy? That's not even an option for you. That's, okay, you can want it, but come on. Given your life, given the realities of your life, that's not reasonable. So no, it's not an option. How come then people say, life has been really, really stressful. I mean, you just don't understand how stressful life has been. There was a death in the family. I got really sick. I had troubles in my marriage. I had money woes. My child, has been in trouble at school. Life has just been so hard. So, I ate. Why? Why is that even an option? Because you're allowing it to be an option. Because you're considering it an option. Because it's what you've always done. I need comfort. I want it. It sounds good. Therefore, I bought it. Therefore, I can have it because it's an option. So, my question for you today, yes, I'm a little frustrated, is it an option or not? My belief is that as long as it's an option, you will do it. As long as the option exists for you to turn to food when you're frustrated, when you're sad, when you're happy, when it's there, as long as it's an option, you'll take it every single time. Is it an option for me if I say, murder is wrong? I cannot just go out and kill somebody just because I want to or because they made me mad today. But yet tomorrow they make me mad. Is it an option for me to go out and kill them? It either is or it isn't. If I say it's not an option, why then? Because they pissed me off. I said pissed. Is it an option for me to go kill them if I said it wasn't? Oh, come on, Carrie. Just eating cookies is not as bad as killing somebody. Are you killing yourself? Well, not with 2 cookies. Is it just 2 cookies? Look, We can look at obesity as a disease that we have to treat for the rest of our lives. And if we want to treat it and we want to be well and we want to live in recovery, then certain things are just not going to be options for us. But until we decide that they're not options, they will always be options. And as long as you tell me, I just felt like doing it, I wanted it, I was having a hard day, I was struggling, then I'm going to say, then it was an option for you, wasn't it? Then you really weren't going to do what you said you were going to do or weren't going to do because you just wanted what you wanted and you did it. My challenge for you today is to determine whether certain behaviors, unhealthy choices, unhealthy behaviors are options or not. I'm asking you to be honest with yourself. Not with me. You don't owe me an explanation, but don't lie to me. Next time I talk to you and you say, I've gained 30 pounds because I was stressed out, don't talk to me if you have said it's not an option, because you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, obviously it was an option for you and you don't like the results. Yes, this is firm and this is strong and this is frank, and I don't want to sound mean. I don't want to sound mean. I'm frustrated because I can't want it for you more than you want it for yourself. I can't talk to you in your head in place of you. You have to have that conversation with yourself. You have to make the decision. I can't make it for you. So today, I am on my knees imploring you to consider making the decision in your life that is black and white, that is neither optional nor mandatory, that says food of this type, in this quantity, in this volume, in this circumstance, whatever it is no longer an option for me under any circumstances. And I will choose to make the healthiest choices, the wisest choices I know how to make, even though life gets tough, even though somebody dies, even though I get sick, even though it's hard, even though I will make the decision that says that is no longer an option in my life. If you don't make this choice for yourself, I'm not going to think less of you. Of course not. I'm not going to judge you. But I am going to feel sad for you because I'm going to say, it's so close. It's right at your fingertips. It's right there. Have the courage to hold yourself accountable just as you would a child. You would hold them accountable, wouldn't you? You got to do your homework. You got to follow the rules. You got to listen to your teacher, you know. Just as you would your teenager in the car, you got to follow the rules of the road, son or daughter. Just as you would enforce that it is not an option to drive in a dangerous manner, to drink and drive, right? That's not an option ever, ever, ever. I would encourage you to hold yourself accountable to that same level and say, this is no longer an option for me if I want what I say I want. So that is my message today about options. What time is it? I'm going to look at your comments because I saw them whizzing by. For those of you that stuck around, for those of you that had the courage to hear me through, I hope that you take something away from this that says, you know what, I'm listening and I hear what Carrie's saying, and I don't feel like she's mad at me, but I do hear that she's frustrated and wants this for me. I have to decide that I want it for myself as much as she wants it for me. That's what I hope the takeaway message is from today's very, very honest and firm program. So I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see what you guys are all saying out there. All right, then. Not what you guys expected today, huh? With my little backward signs. All right, Mom, front and center. You made it. Oh, my bangs are separated. Can't have that. And Trip and Laura and Diana and Marcus. Yes, 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 yes. Truth. I'm so glad you're here live to say that stuff, Marcus. And hi, Melissa. I'm glad you're here. Having a very crappy day. Oh, I'm sorry, Trip. I'll see you when you come back. And Cleo and Christina and Shannon and all my friends. I'm so glad you guys are there. Okay. Let's see. No clue why my thing accidentally picked the angry face when I clicked to watch this. So not angry, but I love this already. Always love your videos and the blunt truth. Thanks, Christina. And don't worry, I didn't see the sad face at all. But if you are sad, I understand. And Desiree and Let's see. Yeah, not a good option. Right, Brian. Marcus, I like what you're saying. You're saying, okay, if it has been an option, maybe I start by looking at it and saying, not a good one. Not a good one. All right. Now we just got to crank it up a notch and say, absolutely not an option. I cannot access, I cannot take advantage of or rely upon something that just isn't there. Right? I'm in the South Pole. I can want to be under the palm tree with the coconut all I want, but it's just not an option for me. Right? I can want to go to Europe, but I don't have the money, so I can't do it. Not an option for me. We have to put it in that category. And then it will no longer be an option. All right. Wants and needs. Yes, I'm going to go back and read that, Melissa. You're exactly right. And we do often overlap and get those things confused and make things that are our, wants. We try to turn them into needs. All right. So, and Eric, I'm so glad you're here. All right. You guys, I'm really glad that you had the courage to stick around and listen to what I had to say. We'll call it a rant. We'll call it a rant. A rant with a purpose. And a rant that is delivered with love. And you may call it tough love. But honestly, it is pure love and compassion for our struggles. Those of us who must treat the disease of obesity. Those of us who must treat food addiction for the rest of our lives. Of course I have compassion for that, because that is my battle every single day. I need to make these choices every single day. And guess what? When I'm sitting here telling you that something is not an option, it's not an option for me either. It's not like I'm telling you, you can't have something. No, I'm coming to you from a place that says, guess what? Once I elevated my abstinence list to the level of not an option, what would you do if it weren't there? If something was not available to you, could you have it? Could you physically take it if it wasn't available to you? No. So you have to tell yourself, no. Not only is it not an option because I say it's not an option because it's not an option any more than snow on the equator is an option. Okay? Consider this. Tell me how it's going. Tell me what you guys think about what I had to say. Go ahead and tell me if you're mad. If you're mad about it, if you didn't like this, just tell me. That's okay. Because you know what? I realize not everyone is going to be open to receiving this. Not everyone's going to like it. Some of you are going to click off and say, absolutely not going there. I got that. And you know what? I'm not going to take it personally. So you guys be well. I'm going to sign off today and get ready with a new show tomorrow. And I'm going to remind you all to have courage, seek peace, embrace joy, and above all, choose the option to live your recovery. Remember, you can't stop feeding what's eating you if you don't know what's eating you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye.